What is up, pimps and players? It's your boy Namejamie, and welcome to my new quest guide for the new quest, Fremennik Exiles. I'll be your glorified Wikipedia reader for today, and remember, if you enjoyed today's guide, hit that like and subscribe button, as it really is the only thing keeping me alive on the inside. Also, on a side note, before you start this quest, I'd advise that you download OS Buddy, because they will probably have a plugin that does the entire quest in one click by the time I get this guide out, so go ahead and check them out. On a more serious note though, the quests you will need to have completed in order to start this quest are the Fremennik Exiles quest, Lunar Diplomacy, Mountain Daughter, and the Heroes quest. You will also need the following skill requirements: 65 crafting, 60 slayer, 60 smithing, 60 fishing, and 55 rune crafting. On this screen, I have a list of items that you will need in order to complete this quest. To start this list off, we have 2 kegs of beer, 1 rune throwing axe, although I suggest you bring more in case you mess up, 1 molten glass, 100 astral runes, 1 pet rock, 1 fishing rod, the Fremennik shield, which we will get during the quest, ice gloves, 1 hammer, 1 glass blowing pipe, 1 pickaxe of any kind, the Ring of Chaos A, and if you don't have that, bring 150k instead. The mirror shield is an optional item that you can bring that can aid you but is not necessary, and the other item that you definitely need is the seal of passage. Additionally, I suggest that you bring 8 Fremennik teleports just to be safe. I think I only use 5 or 6, but I would just bring 8, as I said, just to be safe. I would also bring 2 Lunar Isle teleports, as that will speed up the quest just a little bit. If not, we can just take the boat there, that's not a big deal. And I would also suggest 3 stamina potions and 1 super combat potion for the running and fighting you are going to be doing. For the gear requirements of this quest, I wore Graceful for the first 30 minutes, and then for the final boss fight, I would suggest some decent melee or range gear. Something like Black D hide and a blowpipe, or Void and a whip, or a fighter torso and a whip, or Bandos and a whip, whatever you have that's decent melee gear. To start this quest off, head to Relica and then enter the Long Hall. In the Long Hall, you should find the chieftain, who you're going to want to talk to. Choose option 3, which should be to ask about a quest, and then choose option 1 to accept that quest. After you are done talking to him, exit the Long Hall and head northeast to Freigard's house, which is just south of the sandpit. Once you are there, talk to her and she will say a few things. Afterwards, you're going to want to go out and search that sandpit and kill the baby basilisk that spawns. This youngling will drop the unsealed letter. Go ahead and pick it up and read it. After you have done that, search the rock slide that is just west of the house in order to get the fang. Afterwards, search the boxes that are just south of the house in order to get the venom gland. After you have both items, talk to Freigard again to give her these items. She will then send you back to the Long Hall in order to talk to the chieftain. Choose the option that talks about investigation, which should be option 2 or 3, and this will prompt a cutscene. Go ahead and spam through the cutscene, as it's really not that important to watch. After the cutscene ends, head south out of Relica and then head slightly east. You should find the chieftain just southeast of the wall at the very edge of Relica. And for those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, I have showed you right here on the map where he is located so you can't be confused. Once you get to him, choose the options 1, 1, 2, 3. That should go over all the chat options that are relevant. Again, after you have gone over the chat options 1, 1, 2, 3, then you can feel free to exit the conversation with the chieftain, as we've gotten everything we need from him and we now need to go construct the shield. To get the first part of the shield, we have to go to the Waterbirth dungeon, which is on the Waterbirth Island. In order to get there, we need to head back to Relica and head up to Gervald, and he will bring us to Waterbirth Island. For those of you who do not know, Gervald is located on the furthest left dock, and he is the first member on the dock, so it is sort of hard to miss him. Simply hit travel on him and he will bring you to Waterbirth Island. Once on the island, you are going to want to run west and then south until you find the dungeon's entrance. Go ahead and enter the dungeon and then run directly east and a little bit north. You should see a gate with 2 pressurized plates that you need to push down at the same time. If no one is on at the same time as you, that will help you open the gate, you need to place your pet rock on one of the plates and then stand on the other plate at the same time, and then click on the gate, and that will open the gate like so. It is crucial that you run back and pick up your pet rock before the gate closes, because we need that pet rock for the rest of the quest. After you make it through the gate, protect from melee and run directly east. At the end of the corridor, you should run south a little bit and see 3 standing up plates set up in a triangle. Equip your rune throwing axe and turn on its special attack and target the plate on the west side of the triangle like so on the screen. This will ricochet and knock down all the plates, allowing you to enter further into the Waterbirth dungeon. In the first room, protect from mage and run east to the ladder. In the second room, protect from range and again run east to the ladder. In the third room, protect from melee and run southeast to the next ladder. In the fourth room, protect from range and run southwest to the ladder. In the fifth room, keep protect from range on and run east to the next ladder. In the next room, keep protect from range on and run northeast to the last ladder. After you have taken the last ladder, equip your Ring of Chaos A and talk to the dude being attacked by the serpents in the middle of the room. Choose option 3 and it should give you the shield for free if you have your Ring of Chaos A equipped. Otherwise, you're going to need to talk to him and offer him 150k for the shield. Once you have the shield, go ahead and teleport to the Lunar Isle. For those of you who didn't have Lunar Isle teleports like me, teleport back to Relica and head up to where Gervald is again. But instead of talking to Gervald, talk to the next guy after him and he will bring you to the Lunar Isle. If you are taking this route, make sure you have your Seal of Passage and make sure it is equipped. Once you have made your way to the Lunar Isle, make sure you again equip your Seal of Passage and head north past the bank. Enter the house that is on top of a giant chicken, and inside you need to talk to the woman. Select option 3 and she will enchant your molten glass for you. If you're like me and you forgot to buy your astral runes, feel free to buy 100 of them now. If not, head out of the house and then head south to the astral rune altar, which is southeast of the Lunar Isle town. Once you are at the altar, use your molten glass eye on the altar itself, and that should turn it into lunar glass. We are now done with another part of the shield, so we need to return to Relica. Once you are back at Relica, head east to the mountain camp. Once you arrive at the mountain camp, head north and then slightly west so that you can reach the large geyser. Once you are at the large geyser, click on it and it should send you through a dialogue with your pet rock. Select option 1 in this dialogue. After you have finished this dialogue, you need to head back to Relica, so go ahead and teleport over there. Once you are back at Relica, head in the gates and then head slightly northwest. You are looking for Pier the Seer, and you want to go ahead and talk to him when you find him. He should be just northwest of the gate when you enter Relica. After you are done talking to him, you need to head back to that large geyser, which means heading back to the mountain camp. So go ahead and run east all the way past Relica back to the mountain camp. When you are back at the mountain camp, make sure to equip your ice gloves for this part, as you will not be able to polish your pet rock if you do not have your ice gloves equipped. Once you have them equipped, go ahead and click on the large geyser again, and this should polish your rock and finish part 3 of the shield. Now that we have finished part 3, we need to teleport over to the Lunar Isles again. I'm going to quick tele there with my Nexus portal, but for those of you who do not have this teleport, just take the boat that I showed you earlier. Once you are there, head northeast to the mining area where the Suquas are. Climb down into the mine and just southwest, you should see 3 stalagmite. Mine these 3 stalagmite for 3 lunar ore. Once you have 3 ore, you can teleport back to Relica. Run into Relica through the gates and head directly west, all the way to the most west building that has the furnace in it. You are going to use the 3 lunar ores on the furnace. After you have the 3 lunar bars, use it on the anvil to make the sigil. Now that we have the sigil, we need to go to the woman down by the docks that I'm showing you on the map here. It's basically directly south from where we are. So just follow along where I'm going because she needs to enchant this for us. Once you are down by the woman by the bowl, click on the bowl and then select option 3. This should allow her to enchant the sigil for us and finish the shield. Once she has enchanted it, go ahead and click the sigil on the shield itself, and that should combine the shield into one unit. And with this forging of the shield, it marks basically the end of the quest. All we have to do now is do the boss fight. So go ahead and take a moment to go get geared up in your best melee or range gear. The only thing that you need to keep in your inventory besides the shield that you just assembled are the 2 kegs of beer that we have yet to use. I would also advise around 10 sharks for this part, or maybe some Saradomin brews and some super restores, as well as a quick teleport out in case things get into trouble. But this boss fight is pretty straightforward and pretty simple, so I don't think you guys will have any problems with it. Once you are geared up, head back to Relica and head directly east. You're going to want to meet the chieftain outside of the village again and show him the shield. He will take the 2 kegs from you, and he will then head back to town. From here, head back to the long hall and talk to the chief when you get there. This will prompt a cutscene and you will see basilisks invading the market area. Make sure after the cutscene's over, you quickly equip the shield that you made. Now, the way the first part of the boss fight works is very much similar to the Song of the Elves boss fight, where you have NPCs fighting their NPCs and you have to kill a certain amount of NPCs to proceed to the next round. The little basilisks are worth 3% to the total, and the large basilisks are worth 10% to the total. The best strategy for clearing this is to tag everything before it dies. As long as you get a hit on any of the things that are about to die, you will gain those as a percentage to your total. So in other words, because your NPCs are actually pretty strong, simply try and tag everything before your NPCs actually kill it. Once you have 100%, and you can see that in your chat bar, you are going to be prompted to get on the boat. Get on the boat and head to the island of stone. Once there, move forward a little bit and talk to the chieftain, and he will explain the last puzzle to you. This puzzle is very difficult. It took me 1 or 2 tries to actually figure it out. And the way it works is that you have a certain selection of runes at the bottom that you can choose from. When you have the selected runes you want to try, you will see check marks appear on the right side of the puzzle to indicate whether the runes you have selected are right or wrong. A green check mark means that the runes are right and they are in the right place, and a red check mark means you have the right runes but in the wrong places. This requires a bit of trial and error, and as you can see, I failed completely the first time, and if you fail, it just resets and you have to try again. One tip that I found useful was to try all one rune at the first entry. That way I could see which runes were in the right places based on the green check marks. This might not be useful for you, and you might just have to try a lot of different combinations, but it was honestly the best tip I could think of. When you solve the puzzle, the doors will open to the chamber and you and the chieftain will enter. Inside the chamber are 3 NPCs. 2 of the NPCs, which are called Typhers, will turn around and attack you and the chieftain. They are relatively weak and should be easy to defeat. One tip against them is to pray melee when they are above 50 HP, and pray mage when they are below 50 HP. One thing that I also wanted to note here is that this fight has check marks in it, meaning that if you defeat these 2 and then move on to the next boss, but don't finish the next boss, you don't have to repeat fighting these 2 NPCs. This happened to me, and that's how I know this. After you defeat your NPC, you'll have to face the final boss named Jormungand after the Nordic god. Jormungand has 2 special attacks to avoid. The first one turns the screen red. When this happens, make sure you face away from him, in other words, click backwards so that your back is towards the boss, because you will not take damage this way. If you are facing the boss when this attack goes off, you will take up to 50 damage sometimes. The second special attack he has is that he throws a rock at you that will hold you in place. In order to get out of this, you must repeatedly click somewhere else on the screen in order to break free. During this fight, you should be praying against magic the entire time, as well as putting up piety or rigor depending on which attack style you are using. Overall, Jormungand only has 600 HP, so it really isn't that hard of a fight, and most of his mechanics can't really one-shot you, so again, you shouldn't die. But if you do end up dying, you can get back your items for 50k outside the boss encounter. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the boss fight and wrap up today's video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe below, as it does take a lot of work to make these guides the same day as the release of the quest. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!